a judge exposed. I love this. you got played. Okay, you weaponized it. You used your words, and somebody said, gotcha. Okay, and they kind of look like you. And they did it. Makes it even better. Judge exposed for being racist towards black people steps down. Part of that headline is a travesty right there that she was able to step down. But okay. This is another case of the system protecting its own while the people suffer under the gavel of bigotry. Oakland County Probate Judge Kathleen Ryan finally stepping down. But don't be fooled. Not a victory for justice. This is a late escape, we'll call it, from accountability. According to WXYZ TV Detroit, Judge Ryan caught on audio recordings admitting in her own words that she is a, quote, new racist. I can honestly say that, okay, I'm not systemically racist. I'm a new racist. Let me trademark that because I suspect there's others. I'm going to get rich off of that one. If I have race and trademark that. She didn't stop there. She was recorded calling Black Americans, quote, lazy pieces of S, spewing homophobic slurs. From England, if you're a Black from any other country, you're doing way better. If you're an American Black person, then you're a effing lazy piece of S. Another disturbing clip, she attacks the entirety of modern civil rights movements with pure virulence. You effing Black, we'll see you next Tuesday, she says. I'm so peed off at this Black Lives Matter hashtag Me Too, all this oh my God, FUB. This is a judge. Belong with the same people she adjudicates. Not actually, she doesn't, because everybody who comes before her surely did not get a fair shake. Okay. She tried to justify her bigotry by blaming the very people she's biased against. Here's another one. I can honestly say that, okay, I'm not systemically racist. I'm a new racist. I never was, but now I am because you're shoving this S down my throat, making allegations that you don't know S about. You're telling me who I am, and you've never even effing met me. F you. Well, but we're not telling you who you are. Your words are. Judge, you're telling us who you are. I think she's got some other issues. But I'll just go on and tell you what else she said. She's an attack artist. The very concept of equality in her crosshairs next. She relies on tired racist tropes to dismiss systemic oppression. Quote, with this whole Black Lives Matter stuff, like everyone's all entitled in S. Let's assume they did get screwed just because of the nature of your color and the way America is, systemic racism and all that S. Fine. But don't they have an obligation to step up to the plate too? I mean, think about it. All they have to do is look at their history, like the whole baby mamas and the dads taking off. It's like, you guys have an obligation too. You want us to treat you equally, you got to effing step up and do the same job. You don't get to be lazy A's. Well, Judge, who raised you? Did your daddy raise you to talk like this? Your mama raised you? Is that fair for me to talk about your mama and your daddy, your mammy and your pappy? I don't know. Just came to my mind. Perhaps the most revealing part of this entire disgrace, she boasted about being untouchable. And she was caught on tape saying this. Now, this is a delicious, we'll call this dessert. I'm going to call it dessert. I hate to say it, knock on wood. I really kind of am untouchable. They can't touch me. MC Hammer, she could go to MC Hammer in this one. They can't touch my salary. They can't touch my job. All they can do is have somebody run against me. Good luck, Ryan is heard saying in one recording. And for 15 months, she was right. She was right. They removed her from the docket, but she was still a judge. They did it in September 2024, but the system kept the checks rolling, tax dollars. She sat on paid leave for over a year while the Michigan Judicial Tenure Commission, the very body charged with maintaining public confidence in the court, said, not going to do anything. They refused to take disciplinary measures. It was only after a very brave man right there. Look, it could be, looks like could be her brother. Not, but this is part of what makes it extra delicious. He said, nope, not today. The court administrator, Edward Hutton, went public with years of recordings that she voluntarily decided to retire. Hutton, who is an attorney, alleged that for years Judge Ryan was blowing up his phone during and after work hours, turning regular calls into hours-long sessions where she spewed this inappropriate garbage. But why did he finally decide, I'm going to record? Well, I'll let him tell you. He says, I just felt like it wasn't going to change, said Hutton. Nothing's manipulated. Conversations that I was part of. Something that I anticipate at some point I'll probably have to testify to under oath, and I'm absolutely willing to testify to the authenticity of every single one of them, meaning the recording. Well, I love this guy. I would love to buy him a meal, a beer, whatever he wants, caviar. I'd splurge on that. He's done a great service. The disgusting part is while he stepped up and didn't just turn in a whistleblower or anonymous complaint, you see his face is there. He gave years of recordings to the local media. And then he sat for an interview with his face on it. He still works there and has to walk back into that courthouse. And by the way, it's probably not the friendliest place because I can tell you, Senator, one of the fellow judges of this woman said his frustration was, well, I mean, now we're down a judge, paraphrasing, and I'm just frustrated that there's this vacancy. No one said, get the hell out of here. I'm a judge. You're making us all look bad. People can't expect to get fairness with you. He said she was a, quote, good judge. That's what the fellow judge said. How can you be a good judge? Am I wrong to talk about and ask the question about her mother and father and who raised her? She's talking about everybody else's mommy and daddy.
No, you're not wrong at all. And this is very sad and very unacceptable because we're now not talking about an average citizen. We're talking about somebody with power, the power of freedom, whether to take your freedom or allow you to keep your freedom. There's a such thing as judicial temperament. And it is very clear that this judge lacks judicial temperament, as well as, through the evaluation of her own words, is an anti-Black bigot, full on. And thank God for Edward Hutton for stepping up, for having the mind to start to record this judge, and then to have, as you said, showing his full face and showing the world, telling the world what this judge has been doing in terms of abusing her power. If there is any litigant, anybody who has gone before this judge who's Black, I would certainly seek out a legal an attorney. And maybe all those cases might have to be thrown out, Sharon, because we don't know whether or not the judge was meting out the law fairly or or being unfair because the people or person standing before her were Black. We will never know. So go back to all her cases. And then what is a new racist? I agree with you, Sharon. You better go. I mean, you should. You should go ahead and go and get that copyright. Trademark that. I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know what a new racist is. And then the trope that white people who think like her always use against Black people, they're lazy. When did this laziness start? Was it after slavery? Because, Sharon, our ancestors were forced to toil in this country under the most inhumane conditions for generations. And then once slavery was abolished, and it's an asterisk in the 13th Amendment for the prison system. But slavery abolished. Now all of a sudden, Black people are lazy. Let me tell you something. If we didn't work for 11 lifetimes, you could never, ever, ever call a Black American lazy.
All for resilient people.
Jeez,
still standing,
the nerve.
still here. We're still here after all of that. Must be doing something right in the face of all kinds of. And look, here's the thing. People can do some pretty lousy things on, let's call it the worst day of their life. That's not what we're talking about here. And I don't know if I would accept that excuse, but that's not what we're talking about here. I haven't heard an apology. Years of this abuse. Absolutely, you did not get a fair shake standing before this woman. She is just a tragic figure. And the fact that she was allowed to step down, this is how it happens. So they called her from that little judicial watchdog, whatever, that little carefree organization. And then, you think you're ready now? Just get yourself, pad yourself, and then you take your full retirement. Yes, when you're ready, because they're coming. They keep coming around. What? That's what happened here. They made a deal with the bigot, the racist, this disgusting woman, and it sucks. So here, Mr. Hutton, thank you.
Yeah. Just one more quick point, Sharon. She was right that she's untouchable because she got to leave with dignity. And had this been another group, she would have been gone.
Yeah.
Because her transgressions were against, again, Black Americans. She got a chance to get away with this for years and years and years and leave on her own.
Why don't you just get
I want people to
over
think
it?
about that. Yeah.
I didn't own slaves. My ancestors, blah, blah. She's still part of this system and imposing her will. Boy, she's just so staunch with it, right? He was going to make her mark. Won't he do it? Oh, my goodness.